security agents guard Bayaro's palace despite court eviction order. Senate passes bill to revert to old national anthem. Price of tomato pepper spike amidst scarcity. And on the foreign scene, early voting begins in South Africa ahead of main elections on Wednesday. Hello, welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. My name is Ligian Ogazi. And now to the news. Despite a High Court order in Kano State directing Aminu Ado Bayero to cease parading himself as the Emir of Kano, the deposed Emir remains at a Nasarawa residence heavily guarded by police and military personnel. Our correspondent who visited the mini palace on Tuesday observed stern-looking army, soldier and policemen surrounding the premises. The court, presided over by Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu on Monday, had directed the police to evict Bayero from the mini palace located on State Road. Despite this, Aminu Ado Bayero continues to occupy the Nasarawa residence under tight security. This legal conflict follows the Federal High Court ruling last Thursday, which restrained the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano and suspended the law establishing the dissolved 5 emirates in the state. The Kano State Police Command had vowed to enforce the court order preventing the state government from dissolving the newly created emirates. The new court order by Justice Aliyu, other traditional rulers in the dissolved emirates were also restrained from parading themselves as emirs. Moving on, the Senate has passed the National Anthem Bill 2024, which proposes reverting to the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee. Nigeria We Hail Thee, this bill, which swiftly passed its first and second reading on Thursday, now awaits President Bola Tinubu's assent to become law. The legislation aims to replace the current anthem Arise, O Compatriots, with the original anthem composed at Nigeria's independence on October 1st, 1960. The bill seeks to revive the anthem that was placed in 1978 during Olusegun Obasanjo's military administration. The old anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, was penned by Lillian Jean Williams, a British expatriate who lived in Nigeria at the time of its independence. Frances Berda composed the music. The anthem played a significant role in shaping Nigeria's national identity and unity during the 1960s and late 1970s. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, and the Minister of Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, says the establishment of a shipping regulatory agency in the country is a step in the right direction. They disclosed this on Monday at a public hearing on the Shipping Council repeal and enactment of the Shippers Council and Economic Regulatory Bill. The Speaker, alongside other stakeholders, lauded the regulatory agency, noting that the bill, when passed into law, will ensure the protection of rights, competitiveness, and enhance ease of doing businesses at the ports.
This reenactment bill not only seeks to ensure that the proposed agency establishes an economic regulatory framework for effective and efficient regulation of commercial and related activities in the shipping and port sector, but also aims to create an enabling environment for private sector participation in the provision and operation of regulated services in Nigeria, amongst others.
We know in the aviation sector, regulator is there. Communication sector, regulator is there. In the power sector, regulator is there. In the upstream sector, regulator is there. In the downstream sector, you have regulator. I mean, all the economic sectors have regulators with the exception of the shipping services. So I think this is one more reason why we even have to double our efforts to make sure that this bill sees the light of the day at the shortest possible time by God's grace.
The ministry is in the process of collating its position on this act and will submit in due course accordingly. We encourage every member here present and stakeholders to present genuinely their interests with a view to helping the House to take the best decision in the interest of our great nation and the sector.
If we think about the current situation, look at the ports in Cotonou. How many people are there? Clearly, they're building infrastructure to service our country. So we've got to make sure that we are more efficient. And to that extent, we welcome this regulatory agency that will be created to make things more efficient for all of us.
This bill, when passed into law, will promote competition and ensure consumer protection and quality of service delivery in the regulated sector. The bill, Mr. Speaker, essentially embellishes the fundamentals of economic regulation, that is, making all actors play by the rules. Service providers must operate competitively to avoid monopoly, excessive pricing, and arbitrariness. Service users, consumers, must conduct themselves responsibly by paying appropriate prices for services and avoid unwholesome practices.
Meanwhile, no fewer than 25 people have been killed by bandits in Ungwa, Lamido of Kakumi Ward in Bakori and Gidan Sule in Faskali local government areas of Katsina State on Saturday night. The attackers, suspected to be loyal to Adamu Aleru, were said to have been under the command of one Yellow, the younger brother of Adamu Aleru, operating in Zamfara and Katsina State. The bandits had mobilized themselves at Gidan Sule around 4 p.m. on Saturday before attacking the village around 6 p.m., killing 13 people, from where they proceeded to Ungwa Lamido same night and killed 8 residents. While many were shot dead, others were slaughtered, according to survivors who are currently receiving medical attention at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Katsina before looting houses and setting shops and residential houses on fire. The bandits who ransacked the 2 communities also abducted unspecified number of people, including women and children, as they also succeeded in rustling large number of livestock in the process. Many residents of Ungwa Lamido and Gidan Sule, including women and children, as well as the elderly, are still missing. Now moving over to Imo State, where children in the state on Monday enjoyed the privilege of celebrating their day despite the difficulties bedeviling the economy. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise brings us the report.
For these children, the 2024 Children's Day celebration is a memorable one. The atmosphere was full of excitement as the children trooped out in their numbers to have fun. The amusement parks for the amazement was activated to its fullest, courtesy of the wife of the governor, Barrister Chioma Uzodimma. The parents and teachers who took our time to celebrate with the children exposed them to some fanfare activities. Children who participated credibly in the intellectual games were rewarded with various prizes.
So people eat to be like on the news. Okay. So guys, I can see 5 different people, like 20 persons from.
Oh, look at the baby. You said not a baby.
Can she spell?
It's an honor.
Aww.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I feel so excited because it gave me a chance to prove that.
Oh, you're not a motherless baby.
He gave me a chance to come out here and spell today. I just feel so excited.
I feel very much privileged and happy that today is Children's Day, and I was privileged to touch the governor's wife's hand. I'm very happy.
That was the deputy governor, not the governor's wife.
Yes, the deputy order, yeah.
Okay.
Thank them very much for making it possible for us to be here too, and for them giving children courage to continue to go to school and other. Yeah.
The Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Chinyere Ekomaru, took out time to celebrate with the children and encourage them to aspire and pursue greatness. She encouraged the children to speak up at any given point in time. She stressed that they have a voice and they shouldn't consider the option of keeping quiet when they ought to speak.
Voice.
What is the voice for? For you to speak. So continue to speak. Speak to your parents about anything, any topic at all. Open your mouth and speak to them. Speak to your teachers. Speak to any adult that is around you. You have a voice, and the government is aware and we respect your voice.
The theme for this year's Children's Day celebration is You Have a Voice. Participants here called for the protection of children's rights and allow a mechanism that gives them room to speak up. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Meanwhile, in Katsina, students this year took part in the traditional special parades to commemorate the Children's Day. Now, more than 32 participated in the fanfare special parade to mark the day. Jamil Mbai has more details.
By the center, quick march!
Jubilant and full of color, schools in Katsina celebrated Children's Day with excitement and joy. Over 30 schools joined in a grand parade, showing off their talents and school spirit. Proud parents, teachers, and government officials cheered on the kids. The deputy governor, standing in for the governor of Katsina, took the spotlight to oversee and enjoy the lively parade. In a warm speech, the deputy governor highlighted the importance of investing in children, who are the future of Katsina.
You might be young, but your opinions, ideas, and views are valuable. We want to hear from you, your perspective, and help shape our policies and agencies that build a better future for you and for all of us. Do not be afraid to express yourself and contribute to the community. Participate in school activities, join clubs, and engage in discussions. Your voice can make a difference.
From marching bands to creative flutes and enthusiastic chants, the students brought their A game. The atmosphere was electric, filled with laughter, music, and pure joy. This Children's Day celebrations happens every year on the May 27th and is celebrated all over the world.
So His Excellency has made his...
Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
Meanwhile, the First Lady of Borno State, Falimata Zulum, has expressed confidence in the state government's drive to shield children from social vices. She stated this at the 2024 Children's Day celebration held in Maiduguri with the theme Enhancing the Total Well-Being of the Nigerian Child through Quality Education and Skills Development. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi has more.
It was a fun-filled atmosphere as performances such as traditional dances, drama, and spoken words, among others, thrilled the audience. The event brought children, parents, and stakeholders to not only unwind but also review children's rights and other observations. Stakeholders in their remarks noted that the state government has done well in enacting laws that strengthen child protection, education, and well-being, and called for the implementation of the laws. Others pointed out that while investing in children's health care and quality education, there is need to empower them with skills.
There is much more that needs to be done, more especially in terms of the child protection law that His Excellency, the Executive Board of Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Azulum has assented to. A lot needs to be done in terms of the implementation and in terms of adhering to the law in Borno State.
Equally important is the need to emphasize skill development alongside academic education. In today's competitive job market, Children need to acquire practical skills that will make them employable and self-reliant. These include vocational and technical training, as well as soft skills such as communication, problem solving, and critical thinking.
We refuse to let these challenges define their future. Instead, we are dedicated to providing them with the tools, resources, and support they need to thrive. We cannot thank our father, the people's governor, who through implementation of child-friendly policies raised the bar for the growth and development of Borno children. Similarly, our dear mother, the First Lady, Her Excellency, Dr. Falmata Babagana Umara Zulu, who since the assumption of office of her husband as the governor, has consistently driven the child development agenda, the results we are witnessing today.
The Borno State First Lady, Falmata Zulum, commended the state government for investing in the future of children by ensuring access to education, healthcare, as well as for providing basic social services.
Borno State government is also working towards changing the mindset by working on the traits of some of their attitudes and behaviors so as to shield them from all forms of vices and other forms of violence and negativity. On this National Children's Day, I urge us all to recommit ourselves to investing in the future of our children so as to ensure that every child in Borno State has the opportunity to live a healthy, happy, and productive life.
She called on parents to imbibe and promote best parenting practices and while also protecting their children from violence and exploitation. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
This week, the Chinese Embassy in Nigeria launched the 2024 Chinese Film Festival in Abuja. The event, themed Harmony in Diversity, aims to showcase a blend of different cultures, voices, perspectives, and opinions, emphasizing Nollywood's importance to China. The event highlighted that the Chinese film market will become more accessible to Nollywood productions. This platform is set to enhance cultural exchange and cooperation in the film industry between Nigeria and China.
The people to know each other, to learn from each other. Through this, the mutual understanding can be strengthened, and later, the bilateral ties can be improved.
This film is good for the culture exchange. So today we enjoy. As from your face, I believe everybody you are enjoying this film. They said, you only live once. And also from this movie, we get a lot that is about Chinese culture. The lady with perseverance, with insist, so finally he achieved and he succeeded in his life.
The lead character in the movie, who was Lian, somebody will expect that at a point in her life, she should have given up all of the hopes, as in energizing herself and coming back again. And it's a cultural thing for Chinese. They always want to prove that they can push to the brink to that very, very level, which is a thing that I think in Nigeria we should also learn to cohabit with. It's a thing like push yourself, even beyond the limits where the world rejects you at.
The movie shows morale, it shows how people struggle to make life, from sports from drama to sports. It's an interesting package, so it's going to go a long way in the broadcasting world.
This is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, price of tomato pepper spike amidst scarcity. More news when we return. Do stay. You're welcome back. This is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Now let's take a look at our headline stories again. Security agents guard Bayera's palace despite court eviction order. Senate passes bill to revert to old national anthem. Now moving on, prices of tomatoes, pepper and other perishable items in the popular Paringada market of Jos North local government area, Plateau State, have skyrocketed amid scarcity of these commodities. Sellers are complaining about how the situation is affecting the business as customers can no longer afford these items due to the price increase. The sharp rise in prices is not only impacting traders' livelihoods but also putting a strain on consumers who rely on these staple goods for their daily meals. Ado Musa completes the report.
This is the popular Paringada market, which used to be bustling with tomatoes, peppers, and other perishable items. Today, however, these commodities are scarce and hardly available, leaving market stalls looking empty. The scarcity has caused a significant price hike, with a basket of tomatoes that used to sell for 3,000 naira now being sold for 26,000 naira. Baba Suleiman, the vice chairman of the market, explained reasons behind the sudden increase in the price.
Firstly, it's due to this subsidy, so everything has changed. Fertilizer, petrol, everything. The money is high. Most of the farmers, they used to farm, they don't have that money to buy petrol and buy fertilizer. Most of them, they don't go to the farm again. So I think that's why we don't have much quantity like last year, because most of them, they don't used to farm again because they don't have that money to purchase all those things. And rain, secondly rain. If this rain drop like last year by this time, because last year by this time there is rain, but now we don't, there's no rain. So due to the rain, all these things will still scarce now.
Some traders explain how the situation is affecting their businesses.
The
situation is greatly affecting our business because people can no longer afford it. It is quite expensive. We are really in a difficult situation. This is where we source money for food, clothing and other expenses. But today the market is not flourishing. The price is high because the commodity is scarce even on the farms. The scarcity has significantly impacted the lives of small-scale traders. Some customers who spoke to Trust TV in the market also expressed their dissatisfaction over the situation.
The last time I came here wasn't even long ago, and it's like the price has tripled, and it's crazy because I mean the one I even bought last time was more than this for a cheaper price. But all of a sudden it's even lesser for a higher price. So I'll still contemplate whether should I buy or should I not buy.
Well, unfortunately, it's actually alarming because the produce are not available. The prices are very high, and it's really difficult for everybody, both the sellers and we, the buyer. We're not seeing the produce. We don't know if it's the government or the farmers. We really don't know, but we're really at loss, and it's really difficult for us, honestly. So we really don't know what to do.
Skyrocketed recently, and everyday tomato price is adding up. So I don't know what's happening with the agricultural system in Nigeria. So if the government can see into it, because a lot of people, I used to sell tomatoes like basically every day, but now a lot of people cannot afford the price of the tomatoes because tomatoes now has gone really up.
Stakeholders in the market have stated that unless the government reinstates the fuel subsidy, the prices of tomatoes, peppers and other perishable items will continue to be scarce and costly in the country. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And now to the foreign scene. South Africans who received special permission to vote early were casting their ballots Monday ahead of the main elections on Wednesday. Numerous residents sat eagerly at their retirement home to cast their special ballots, avoiding long queues expected on voting day. The special voting process is for registered voters who are unable to travel to a voting station because of physical challenges such as disability, pregnancy, or advanced age. Independent Electoral Commission staff also visited the elderly at their homes to assist them with exercising their rights to vote and explain the process to them. The mid-election day is Wednesday, and people will vote in all 9 provinces. And now to sports. Rivers Hoopers pulled off an impressive win as they booked their spot in the last 4 of the 2024 ball season. Nigeria's sole representative at the ball, Rivers Hoopers, have qualified for the semi-finals of the 2024 Ball 4 after beating Sahara Conference counterpart US Monster 92-88. It was an impressive outing from the Kingsmen, who has made history by becoming the first Nigerian team to reach the semis. The Kingsmen will meet Al Ahly Tripoli in the semis. With that, we've come to the end of news updates. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. Thanks for watching. I am Lilian Ogazi.